Welcome to the Droid Forums News Brief, where your oh-so-humble hosts, DG Storm
and Serial Killer,
talk about the top news stories of the week. We had a little hiatus last week, had some business come up, couldn't make it in, so we are here once again.
Welcome back.
Thank you. We have our three stories lined up for you today. First up is AT&T will soon increase fees and add a new one. Boom.
Yeah.
Next up is Nintendo Android smartphone concept is so good it needs to get made ASAP. And last but certainly not least, Google's self-driving cars have been in 14 accidents, but still zero fault. All right, Stormy, kick it off, my friend.
Well, all right. So AT&T is increasing some of their fees and adding a new one. So I'm definitely not a fan of the way the big carriers seem to always keep adding excessive fees or increasing some of them arbitrarily when they were already raking in record profits.
Mm-hmm.
Despite that, I'm not too irritated by these particular fees. Because if you think about it, these are just activation fees. So they really only apply for new customers. Existing AT&T customers are not really affected by this. Despite my apathy, Wear 689 has the right idea that these mega corporations only care about short-term profits and shareholders. And that's what these fees are really all about. It could come back to bite them in the butt someday, especially if companies like T-Mobile keep nipping at their heels.
Yeah. So, okay. First, we need a boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so, yeah, I quoted Weir as well. You know, it's symbolic of the mindset in a lot of these industries nowadays. You know what I mean? They have figured out that people prefer and are leaning towards upgrading sooner and more often.
Right.
So hey, they see this, they're going to take advantage of it. I just don't. Everybody's just talking about this nickel and dime, and yeah, it is. It really is, and it's taking advantage of this. I'm not all for it. Will it come back to bite them in the butt? I don't know. I mean, their Q2, they've gained a ton of new users. I think it's like 2.1 million or something.
Was that Verizon or was that AT&T?
AT&T.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they've been doing extremely well.
Yeah, but how much churn did they go through, right? How many did they lose?
Yeah, this is true. I don't know that answer, but that is a darn good question. So yeah, that's kind of my feeling on this.
Sure, I really technically agree.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. The Nintendo Android smartphone concept is so good it needs to get made ASAP. Okay, so this is a cool looking phone. Okay, I mean it's cool looking. It obviously looks like the Smart Boy. It looks like a little toy. Does it not? So for me, I can't see walking around this thing. I kind of would be embarrassed to be one. I would. I mean, they did an awesome job, dude. I mean, it looks fantastic because, like I said, it looks like a little toy. So with that being said, I could not get one of these. I just would. I would feel foolish, man. I'm just being honest here.
I can understand that perspective for sure. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, I personally was more into PC games than console games, but I still totally get why this is an amazing idea. I honestly think that Nintendo could capture solid market share with it if they actually created it. I see your point that there are a lot of people who won't buy it because it does look like a toy, but I think there are a lot of people out there who will buy it precisely because it looks like a toy.
Yeah, I mean, this thread is a perfect example of it. Well, I'm surprised.
Thunderbolt Nick had it right. This is such a cool concept. I think Nintendo should team up with NVIDIA to make this phone a reality.
Yeah.
I think that would be the perfect way for Nintendo to sidestep the whole console game altogether, if they went into a different market altogether.
That is a good point.
And most of their games can run on something on the hardware that you could put in a smartphone.
Yeah.
So I think it could be a resurgence, a resurrection, if you will, of Nintendo.
That's a damn good point. I didn't even think of that. Good job, man.
No problem. Thank you. Last up, we have Google's self-driving cars have been in 14 accidents, but were not at fault at any of them. So what I find most intriguing about this tech is how much data has been collected. This is useful regardless of the self-driving part.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that their cars are able to visualize and show what's going on, and I mean, can you imagine if all cars had the ability to do that?
Yeah.
I think we could figure out ways to get rid of to reduce accidents even with human-driven cars.
Yeah.
In regards to the accidents itself with this technology, it's telling that the Google car was rear-ended while stopped at intersections 11 out of those 14 times.
Mm-hmm.
A majority of those were people on smartphones too, by the way.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while before self-driving cars are reality, but it will be worth it. I can imagine letting the car drive on long road trips being much safer on interstate highways. Can you imagine driving from here to Dallas on I-35 and just, get in the car, let it go, and you can just read, talk to your buddies, play some cards?
Yeah, that would be pretty incredible.
Obviously driving in town, I would rather drive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such a miserable drive to drive across the country.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Or if I have to drive back to New Mexico to visit, friends or family.
Yeah.
It's like a 9-hour drive.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Yeah, dude, I am not one for road trips. Anything beyond 5 hours is 5 hours is like the max for me. I can't handle being in a car that long.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah.
I just hope that the designers of this technology put enough security so the cars don't get hacked.
Yeah, this is true. Fiat Chrysler automobiles, they just put out a recall for that reason. People were, I'm not totally familiar with the whole recall, but it's about for hacking, people gaining control of it. So yeah, that's a good point. But I won't spend too much time on this because you covered it so well. But yeah, the amount of data that they collected is just phenomenal on it, and it's crazy. Yeah, 14 accidents, 11 of them being rear-ended, and most of these people were on smartphones. When are people gonna learn? I mean, I go to work. I got a long commute every day, and I still see people looking down at their phones, man. And it's
I have a short commute. I'm only like 4 miles away. I get here in 8 to 10 minutes every day, and I'm the same way. I still see people.
It's crazy, right?
It's dumb.
Yeah,
it's just dumb.
Yeah, really quick. They the U of M. I don't know if you heard about this, but they opened this test city. It's like a totally it looks like a ghost town, but they build this whole thing to kind of like tighten up this whole concept of driverless cars. Yeah, it's pretty sweet, man.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a 32-acre facility. So,
wow.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how what happens with this. But yeah, it's pretty exciting times, huh?
Very cool.
Well, that is it for this week, folks. Remember, please leave your comments in the news stories, and you just may find yourself featured in the Droid Forums News Brief. As always, we thank you for watching, and we will not see you next week because I will be out of town, but we'll see you the following week.
Catch you later.